And welcome to another episode of the Next Man Up podcast. Again, the podcast for hoopers, for hoop fans, for hoop junkies all around the Philippines, and of course, around the world. So we just talk about basketball, anything related to basketball, PBA, UAAP, hoopers playing in the B League. So it's going to be another fun episode. In the last episode, though, we had a lot of um, basketball talk as well. Just to remind you guys, Globally Ballin Network is on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. We also have a website, and these are all our different shows. So if you guys are into sports, into volleyball, basketball, PBA legends, and all other sports related topics here, we got it here on Globally Ballin Network. And of course, on the An Eternity of Basketball show, where they talk to a lot of basketball legends, episode 144, they had Salvador Dodi Ramas on their show. So if you're familiar with him, if you want to know his story, make sure to check that out. And we also had Seth Torculas, a football player. They had that on what Who the Heck Are We podcast, where they talk to a lot of different sports personalities around the Philippines as well. And of course, this show, the Next Man Up podcast, catch all episodes on YouTube and on Spotify. We go live on YouTube, Facebook, on Twitter from time to time as well. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe this show and all the other episodes. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well, Globally Ballin. All episodes are available there, so make sure to check that out. And of course, this show is only not only run by me, it's a team sport here in the Next Man Up podcast. Of course, my teammate, this is the Hoopers podcast. Of course, me, a professional basketball player, also a professional basketball analyst, together with this guy, my former teammate back in the UP Fighting Maroons. This guy, Gelo Vito, now a strength and conditioning coach for some of the pro guys here in the Philippines. My guy, how are you? You actually did the solo show last
Yeah.
episode with
Yes.
analytics guy Ryan Alba. That
Yep.
was a great one, Gels.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for getting that one for me.
Good evening, Jegs. Good evening to all our listeners. And hey, you guys have to catch that last episode. And hey, since Sir Sid was my partner
Oh,
there. Sir Sid
syempre, si Sir
Ventura
Sid. Part din siya na
of
nung
an
episode na yun.
eternity of the co-host of an eternity of basketball. Grabe. It's
Nagka-cross
an honor.
tayo. Cross show tayo dito.
Cross
I
show.
like it.
But then again, it's an honor to have Sir Sid on the Next Man Up podcast last episode. Check that out. It's an episode about basketball analytics and statistics. So if you guys are interested,
Ooh.
make sure to listen to that.
That was a deep, deep conversation. But now, Jels, we are gonna have a great episode. I think this is gonna be a great one
Yes.
because first we have a guest, and second we're gonna talk about the PBA champs, the Game 7 of TNT and SMB after we talk
Yep.
to our guest, and of course Coach Yeng Guiao, being the new head coach of the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. That was huge news. When I woke up, I was like, "Oh, he's back."
He's
Where
back.
he that was his first team where he won a championship, if
Yep.
I'm not mistaken, in
Yes,
the
that is
PBA. So
right.
that's Rain or Shine. That's going to be very interesting. We'll talk about that as well. So without further ado, Jels, we're gonna intro our guest. Of course, we appreciate the time and the effort for him to make some time here for our
Oh,
show.
yeah.
We
Yep.
have three-time PBA Best Import of the Conference, 2016 Governors Cup,
Yep.
2017 Governors Cup, and 2019 Governors Cup. Of course, everyone knows him as the import of the Meralco Bolts
Idol
and
to.
the one-on-one, I guess the one-on-one opponent of Justin Brownlee,
Yeah.
the
The
coach
rival,
of
I must
the
say. The rival.
Ginebra team. We got AD Allen Durham. Allen Durham, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey,
Welcome,
thanks for
Eddie.
having me. Thanks for having me. Thank you. And just to correct you, to be a rival, you got to win one. You got to at least win something. I don't know about a rival yet, but I'm working on it.
All right, but Meralco beat Ginebra this conference, so
Yep.
I would call it a
Yeah.
rivalry since
A
that's probably one
rivalry.
of the first times that Meralco beat Ginebra. But AD, how are you, man? How's off season going for you there in Japan in the B League?
Man, it's good. This off season, I kind of just worked on, lifting weights and getting a lot of shots and stuff. And so now doing a conditioning part of it is a little hard, but I'm getting back into it, and it's feeling pretty good out here, actually.
And well, obviously, AD, it's the season there in Japan is very different compared to the season in
Yeah.
the Philippines, right? I mean, obviously, more games there played, different conference. There are two imports, right? What is the main difference for you when you talk about Japan basketball and then Philippine basketball?
Honestly, I mean, they're both very high quality leagues. I've been
Mm-hmm.
all over the world. I played in a lot of leagues, and both leagues are very high quality. So I would
Yeah,
say the only difference is the length of the league.
yeah,
Obviously I play in the Governor's Cup and stuff. Um, so that's a certain time frame, and then out here in Japan, it's a totally longer time frame. So I'm still trying to adjust to that and stuff like that. But I love it. It's still basketball. It's still high
that's right.
competition. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah, Alan, you had some stints in the European leagues. Tell us about more of that, because obviously you've been playing for Asian leagues for quite some time. And what's the big difference playing European style of basketball and adjusting to that, and then suddenly transitioning for the Asian type of basketball here?
Well, honestly, I mean, yeah, I mean, I started off in Europe, right out of college and stuff like that, and I went to a country called Romania, and
Mm-hmm.
wasn't necessarily getting, all the benefits of a professional athlete and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was more, you know, the other stuff of basketball, the party side and stuff like that. But I still managed to play and stuff like that, and get my numbers, and I got up out of there. But honestly, I would say the major differences is like in Japan is kind of similar to European basketball. It's more systematic and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Philippines is probably the only Asian country that I've been to that's more like individual, kind of more
Yeah,
geared towards the NBA, individual skill and stuff like that. But European and Japan and Korea, where I've been, is more systematic.
mm-hmm.
So if you go here, this guy needs to be here. If you do this guy needs to do that.
That's right.
And those are like the major differences and stuff like that. But I just try to adapt to both, and I think that's
Yeah.
why I've been able to go as long as I've been going.
AD, that's a great point because right now a lot of Filipino fans are actually debating, should we copy the NBA style of basketball or the European style where it's a lot of team ball, they run a lot of sets. So that's a great point. I'm sure the listeners right now, if you have any thoughts, um, what do you guys like to see more? Is it the highlights, the NBA style, or the more systemized and more team basketball? What do you think, AD?
Oh man. Well, honestly, I mean, playing in both type of styles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um, I'm old fashioned. I'm old fashioned.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
old school. So, I like to see the beauty of the game.
that's right.
Everybody can, dribble between their legs, at this level. Everybody can shoot, everybody can jump, everybody can run. So I love to see like the beauty of the basketball, like everything moving like a machine. And so
That's right.
that's just what I prefer. And so
Mhm.
I like the European style of basketball, but obviously, if you got game, you got game, and that's
Yes,
beautiful
sir.
too. So I like that too.
Well, all right, AD. So basically, no matter what style of basketball, make that European, Asian, NBA, it don't matter because you put up the numbers, the
Yeah, you put
double
up the
double
numbers. You
machine. This
dominate,
guy,
man.
I like it. And so let's talk about your experience here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
That's what the fans wanna listen to, wanna hear. Can you talk about your Meralco experience, your relationship with the guys? It's been, everyone's always thinking that when it's Meralco and it's import season, import conference in the PBA, they
Allen
always
Durham.
think Allen Durham. That's how it goes here.
Oh man, and honestly, it would have been that way if it wasn't for the pandemic and all of that stuff. I'm a boat deep down inside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah. I mean, I started off in my very first team in the Philippines was Meralco Bull. I don't know if y'all remember them or
Meralco
not.
Bolts.
Yeah, yeah.
That was my very first team over there, and I played good enough to where I made a little headlines, made some news and stuff like that, and it took me a couple years away from the Philippines, but Coach Black, he remembered me and stuff like that, and he brought me into Morocco, and my teammates and the organization, and it kind of just became like a family, and obviously had other offers and stuff like that, but
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it's family over everything, family over anything, and that's what I feel with Morocco.
80 out of all the teams you played against with, who do you love playing against the most? Like
I
in
know the
terms of
answer already here,
in
Joe.
terms of competition, in terms of one on one, in terms of the hype and all of that. Which one's your favorite?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm going to say. I'm pretty sure the fans know what I'm going to say. It's Ginebra. I mean, I have to
Ginebra.
say it. I mean, like, especially as a competitor,
Yeah.
you always want to play against the best, you want to compete against the best, and you want to beat the best. And
Yeah.
for me, I haven't done that. So as long as I want to keep playing, as long as I keep lacing up my shoes and stuff, I need to get back to the Philippines and I need to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And Coach Tim Cone and obviously Justin Brownlee over there, they got a great thing going and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
big props to them and stuff like that. But I'm coming. It's not over yet. Don't think you seen the last of me.
Yes, sir. So AD has unfinished business here in the PBA. So for the fans, someone's asking actually, is there a possibility that we're gonna see you back in the PBA?
I mean, I
Hopefully.
definitely, I definitely
Hopefully.
would love it. Like I said, the Philippines is like my second home. Like
Mhm.
I relate to the fans there. I relate to the culture there, and out of all the countries I've been to, Philippines is top. You know what I'm saying? This Philippines is very top. Just because of the fan love and the love for basketball. You go to Europe and they like basketball, but they love soccer. They love
Mhm.
rugby.
Yep.
But you go to the Philippines, they love basketball. So just having that connection with the fans and the people and that type of interaction is amazing. And I haven't been to any country that's like that ever.
And AD, I mean, basically basketball. If you ask each other right here, he'll agree with me.
Yeah.
Basketball is like a religion here
A
Oh
in
religion.
yeah.
in, in the Philippines.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I was actually part of the Meralco squad last conference, and we had Tony Bishop as our import
Mhm.
back then. We still made it to the finals, lost to Ginebra once again, but I remember Coach Norman telling us and the whole team that they actually tried going for you, but we weren't sure yet if we were going to play with an import during that conference. But you had offers also from other teams and also from the B League. And I think it was Coach Norman who actually told you that if you have an offer, you can't pass that up because it's not gonna be sure here in the Philippines.
Yeah, yeah. I talked to Coach Norman because I was holding out, I was holding out, I was holding out because
Hmm.
obviously, I left the Philippines how we left it, and I was eager to get back to work with my guys and stuff like that. And I talked to Coach Norman, talked to Boss Paulo, and he was honest with me, and I can appreciate that. And he just told me, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And,
Hmm.
you know, basketball is basketball, but on the other side of it, it's a business. And,
That's right.
I got family and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And so I had to make that tough decision. And, so I ended up coming to Japan and come to Okinawa. And, that's why I'm here right now.
That's a dope
You know,
story.
yeah. So, AD, let's talk about the son of Coach Norman, Coach Aaron Black. I think you've been with him from quite some time, being with the squad for a short period of time. What can you say about his game? What can you say about his attitude as a player? And
Yeah, because
how
AB, I remember telling him he was training with Meralco even
yeah,
before he was
before he
drafted.
got drafted? Yeah. What can you say about him?
Yeah, it's it's funny. It's really funny because I mean, obviously, the player that Coach Black was. Like
Yeah.
just relentless under the basket.
Yep.
Dominating down low. All that type of stuff. And then he has a son that's a point guard, that's a shooting
Yep.
guard, that's a
Yep.
guard in general. But they share the same attributes as far as that relentlessness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
eagerness to just get the job done. And like I said, I never got to play with him for real, but he practiced with us, he trained with us, and I could see he had something.
Yeah.
And so like now when I like check in on the scores, checking on the games and stuff like that, like I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised,
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, he's a big piece. He's a big piece for the organization. And honestly, like if I'm being 100% honest, given what me and the team have been through and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and coming up to our finals and stuff, and we always had that lack of size and stuff like that, and they drafted him. I was kind of unsure and stuff like that, but they made the right pick.
Yeah.
He's a
Mhm.
baller, he's a gamer, and I think
Mhm.
he's going to definitely do great things for an organization as he's already done. So
Yeah. So now, since San Miguel Beermen won the All Filipino Championship last night,
yeah,
let's talk about arguably, no, not arguably, the best PBA player right now, local PBA player na to, Junmar Fajardo. Let's talk
hmm
about your battles with him with during your stints here in the PBA. I know because he just came off an injury, and
hmm
right off the bat, he dominated once he got back. He's that
yeah,
he's in shape again. He's in that MVP form. What can you say
yeah.
about your battles with him?
Uh, I mean, honestly, like first off, there's a lot of great players
Yeah.
in the PBA. A lot of great talent. Um, people don't give the PBA a lot of credit that it deserves, but it's a lot of great talent. And he's the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? Like and I played a lot against a lot of people, And so normally, I've gotten this far by using my basketball IQ and,
Yep.
figuring out players and stuff like that. But I've never been able to quite figure him out, to that aspect. And that goes to him because he knows the game and he
Mhm.
does things, So when he he's playing us, he does what he has to do against us. And he's been doing this for years, multiple MVPs and stuff like that. And, you know, he's a great player and he's still doing it. And I don't think it's any surprise to anybody.
That's right. I mean, aside from Junmar, let's
Who do you think
maybe
is
talk
another
who
best top player here
yeah,
in the
who do you think are one of the best players in the PBA for your experience, right? Because
Yeah.
you went up against these guys. Maybe import or Filipino, up to you.
Um, Obviously, import is Justin Brownlee. I mean, he's been there.
That's a given.
He's obviously been there as long as I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes Brownlee like different?
Special,
Yeah,
different.
yeah. I mean, of course you're a competitor, right? But like your competitors give respect where it's due, right? But what
Mhm.
makes him a special dude?
Uh, what makes Brownlee a special dude is honestly the big moments.
Yep.
The big moments. He don't shy away from them. He always shows up. I wish he didn't because I would have a championship or two. I
Yep.
would have maybe one or two championships, but he always show up in the big moments, and that's what the great players do. And yeah, and I think another player, I would say two players, is probably. LA, LA Tenorio.
Ooh.
I don't understand. I don't understand because we can scout him and he can be averaging 6 points. The last 4 games, and then
Yeah.
he play us and he have 28. Like he just knows when it's time to play. And those are the great players. Scotty Thompson obviously is in there. He's consistently great, but I would have to say one player that's kind of underrated. Maybe I don't know if it's the team that he's on or something like that, but I always thought that Matthew Wright. I
Matthew,
Yes,
always
right?
thought
sir.
that he was like he a different talent. And I just found out that he's coming over to Japan, so
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be interesting to see how he do over here. But I always thought he was like a really good talent.
Yeah, that guy's a hooper. When you talk about
Yeah,
getting buckets, and he also worked on getting assists as well. He got his assist number up the past few years. I think he led the assist even in at one point of the conference. So yeah,
wow.
best of luck to Matthew Wright out
Yep.
there in Japan. But also you mentioned before the show, AD, one more guy who's actually reported to play there. It was Jay Washington.
They wash.
How did you find out about that?
They was telling me they was like, hey, we got some player on our team. He's from the Philippines, and I'm like, okay, who? Like they was like, I don't know, some old dude. I was like, some
Yeah.
old dude. Like I probably know him. They was like, Jay Washington. I was like, Jay Washington's coming over here. That's crazy. So I hit him up on Facebook and it was just like, hey, I didn't know you was on the team. What's up? And we chopped it up for a little bit and stuff. So I'm excited for him to get over here.
Yeah.
He's a pro. He's a vet. He gonna always make the right play, make the good play for the team and stuff like that. So I'm excited to get him over here and to play with him.
Yes, sir. That's huge news.
Yes.
Jay Wash
Mhm.
going out there in Japan. But lastly, before we let you go, just a few more questions, AD. How's your relationship with the Meralco players right now? You mentioned that you still talk to the guys, still catch up from time to time.
Yeah, yeah. So me and Newsom, we're tight. Me and
Mm-hmm.
me and Cliff, we're tight. Like we was there. I think my first year there, that's when Newsom was a rookie. So we basically was kind of in there together and stuff like that. So we got that type of relationship and stuff like that. And then it was always me, Newsom, and Cliff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And even though he wasn't on the team when I was there, but Chris Branchero, like
Oh
me and
yeah.
him, he was always in our group hanging around. We'd go out to dinner and stuff like that. And even when he was on different teams and stuff like that. So, um, you know, I I think that's why they're still as good as they are because I know they have that bond,
Mm-hmm.
off the court, and that
Yeah.
helps on the court. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why Morocco is still balling out and stuff like that, as well as everybody putting in the work and stuff like that.
That's right. And when I was still there, it's the same thing. It's Chris, it's Cliff, it's
Let's see.
CB. They're always hanging out, making sure everyone's together. And
Mhm.
can you talk about Newsom's development? I mean,
Yeah.
you mentioned that he was there as a rookie. Now he's the captain, and his leadership for me, one of the best underrated leaders in the league. The way he talks to people,
Yeah,
the way he brings out the best in
Yeah.
the locals and all the other players.
man, this guy, he like you said, is guys that that they have it or they don't have it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They born leaders. He's a born leader. You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying? Like
I
he
agree.
just have that authority to command the attention and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And even as a rookie, I was just kind of like, who's this guy? Who whatever. But he would stand up. No matter the rookie or whatever, he would say what he had to say,
Yes, sir.
and he watched the film and he does the studies and stuff like that. And Chris Newsom he's a captain, a leader for sure. And that's why I know the franchise is in good hand for sure. With him there.
Agree. 100%.
Yeah.
Mm.
Alan, one last question before you let you go. So
Yep.
this has been a topic ever since. let's talk about your thoughts about the Gilas Pilipinas, the
Mhm.
national team. Most of them you played against here in the PBA. Chris Newsom is also part, first time national team
See
player.
that? I
Props to
see.
him.
Yes.
And a lot of you guys that you played against in the Japan B League, like
Mhm.
Dwight Ramos and Kiefer and all of those guys, 30.
Mhm.
Um, you representing the Philippines before, as we see in this picture, what can you say? What would lead to the Philippines for a successful stint in the World Cup?
Uh, I think, obviously, I think the talent is really getting there. The
Mhm.
top players are, committing to it and stuff like that. And you know, I, when I first came there, it was a lot of the older talent. They was kind of on their way out of the
Yeah,
PBA and stuff like that, getting
Jason,
older.
Jason Castro, yeah, those
Exactly,
guys.
exactly. Cap, all them people. So it's like now they're getting younger, but then they still have that kind of that leadership and stuff like that. And so I think Gilas can be very dangerous, to be honest with you. Like,
Yes, sir.
and obviously Jordan, he's well involved with the national team and stuff like
Yeah,
that. And having a player of that caliber, could only help you. So, I think they have good things ahead of them, honestly. And I'm excited to watch them. I watched their game. Um, what was their last game against?
Saudi
Saudi,
Arabia.
Saudi Arabia,
No, the one before that.
Oh,
Lebanon,
Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Yeah, I watched that game. And so like
That was a
just
close
watching,
one.
yeah, just watching them play, like they all just seem like they're in sync. Like
Hmm.
they in sync. Like everybody play for different teams. Everybody got different systems. Everybody got different philosophies and stuff like that. But when they come together, and I know for a fact 'cause they practice in our gym. I know they don't practice a lot, but
Yeah.
everybody had that same common goal to get it done for the country. Get it done for Gilas, and they play some beautiful basketball.
Yeah. Man, that's how you know to the Philippines is AD's second home because he knows where Gilas practices. He knows all the players playing for Gilas. Lastly, AD, your message to all the Filipino fans supporting you, all throughout these years.
Man, I just want to say thank you guys for supporting me. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I promise not the last you guys seen of me.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yeah,
Honestly, we come back. I think for that, what's that new league called? The ES.
EASL,
EASL,
Yeah.
East
So
Asia
EASL.
Super
I'll
Yeah,
League. Yeah.
I'll be there in November,
nice.
and honestly, like I'm so freaking excited. Like not even for the game, like just to be back in the Philippines, like chicken adobo, all that stuff. I'm so excited for all of that. To be honest with you, so it's not the last. I just thank you guys for everything, and keep loving basketball. Like that makes it fun for the players. That makes it fun for the coaches, organizations, and stuff like that. And you guys make us go. So thank you.
Yes, sir. AD, appreciate you. Appreciate the time and effort that you gave to us here for the show.
Thanks so
Appreciate it.
much.
Thanks for having me. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, AD.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Again, just another great conversation with
Oh,
AD, Allen Durham.
yeah.
Pwede na tayo mag-Tagalog, Jels. Yung mga binabaon mong English, pwede mo nang
Nauubos na eh. Nauubos na siya eh.
mag-Tagalog ka na, pwede na.
Pwede na. But then again, Jegs, again, napapansin ko lang, every episode na magkaroon tayo ng guest dito na in-interview, I get to learn so many things.
Grabe,
Like,
no? Yeah.
grabe yung natututunan ko. And for sure, for all our listeners right now, marami rin silang matututunan. Kasi ang nakikita lang kasi ng tao is the game itself,
Mm.
yung basketball itself. Pero yung totoong story nila and how, kung ano yung journey nila and all of that.
Yep.
Ito yung, dito ka makakakuha ng totoong lesson from them.
Mm.
Sa mga idols natin, gaya na sabi natin. So, again, that was a great conversation. I really hope na ma-invite ulit natin si Allen Durham come November, hopefully, when he's back playing for
Baka
the
pwedeng live na yun kung nandito na
Pwede
siya,
yung
no?
live yun, di ba? So, who knows, di ba?
All right, so Again, a great episode, great conversation. Pero tayo naman mag-uusap dito, Jels. Let's talk
Marami
about
tayong kailangan pag-usapan.
the championship game, TNT versus SMB. Specifically yung Game 7. I watched it eh. Grabe yung first quarter, first half ni Mikey
Jason.
Williams.
Mikey
Williams and
Williams,
Jason Castro, both of them.
Grabe.
I think Mikey had 19 points, whether in the first quarter or first half. First half ata.
First half.
So that's
Jason Castro had 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. 3 quarters.
I mean,
With the
that's crazy,
sprained
right?
ankle. With the sprained ankle.
And medyo dikit pa nun. Dikit pa nun, di ba? So TNT, I think lumalamang pa nga minsan yung TNT, right?
Yes.
And then
But
all of a sudden, SMB just, I don't know what happened. It just turned on something, a switch. And
switch eh.
parang biglang honestly, that looked like a miracle. That fourth quarter nung
Yeah.
SM.
That fourth quarter run
Bro,
was
si Ross hitting threes from logo range.
logos. Oo.
Junmar even hitting a step back three in the fourth. Tapos CJ Perez going berserk
Crazy on
in the
transition.
fourth. I mean,
Classic, di ba?
and that performance by SMB gave them the most lopsided Game 7 in PBA Finals history. That's crazy. Imagine 35 to 8 in the fourth quarter. Just as a hooper, as an analyst, ano yung nakita mo dun? Yung parang, ano yung nangyari? What was the turning point of the game?
For me, the one turning point of that game was that flagrant 2 of Poy Eram. Doon nag-shift. Medyo
first of all, agree ka ba na flagrant 2 yun?
Ako,
Inaral mo to, Jels. Inaral mo sa college to, refereeing.
Ako, it was the right call to make. For me, it's a Game 7. You want it physical, you want it, di ba, banggaan. Pero that call was the right call to make. Kasi, first of all, sinasabi niya he was going for the ball, but with the action na ginawa, kumbaga, it was deliberate. Kaya siya tinawagan ng F2. Which ako, for me, was the right call. Okay? Na right call na. And people were saying na, bakit ginawa ni Poy Eram yan? Bakit ganito, ganyan? Siyempre, I mean, as a hooper, frustration. He wasn't really getting his shots up. Hindi ganun kaganda nilalaro ni Poy. So, just for him to like, alam mo yun, minsan ginagawa din natin yan eh. Just para lang mabuhayan lang tayo. Isang solid. Pero yun nga, nasobrahan. That's why he was given an F2. And from then on, yung F2 na yun, parang yung San Miguel, nag-ibang anyo yung SMB. Parang, hindi ko alam eh, parang lahat ng itapon nila sumushoot. Lahat ng i-execute nila libre. And on the other side, and on the other side, the TNT we know na high scoring, high octane basketball team, parang nawala ng gas eh. Parang naubusan sila. Parang nawala na sila. Hindi mo masabing fatigue eh. Kasi Jason Castro was there all along eh. Probably if it's just Jason, hindi talaga, sige sabihin natin fatigue. But you still had Mikey Williams, you still had Kelly, you still had Troy Rosario, you still had Pugoy. Diba? All of them can create, all of them can shoot. Pero for some apparent reason, yung San Miguel nag-ibang anyo. Nung fourth quarter.
Grabe, no? I agree with you, Jels, na diba? Poy Eram yung turning point. Because when Poy Eram got out of the game, parang nakita ng SMB, parang okay, we got this. Confidence go up. No one's gonna guard Junmar, maybe Kelly from time to time, but Poy has the length to actually try and match up with Junmar. And also, Poy is one of the best secondary helpers in the PBA. Why do I say that? Primary, yes, baka, kaya siyang i-body up ni Junmar, but if he's the secondary help, siya yung the double kay Junmar, that's a huge thing. He can change a lot of shots because, when he helps, he has great timing when he tries to go for those blocks. So I think, the absence of Poy Era, medyo nasaktan yung TNT doon.
Yeah.
Pero grabe si Jason Castro, no? I mean, that was on an injured leg. Actually, si Mikey din injured din naman eh.
Injured din siya.
So grabe
Yeah.
rin yung puso ng dalawa. Pero let's talk about Jason Castro, man. I mean, do we even... I didn't expect this from him.
Yeah.
Diba? I mean, people were already trying to count him out na parang, sige, he's giving way na to Mikey. But
No.
these playoff games, crazy. I mean, what makes Jason Castro a different breed for me is when he started working on his shot, nung nakakashoot na siya ng 3 points,
Yan.
parang dumali lang yung basketball sa kanya eh. Kasi hindi na one-dimensional na he can just dribble, may shooting na siya. And he's such a great passer ever since naman eh. So, wow, that's crazy. Crazy performance.
But Jegs, ito kung nandun si Coach Shot, because he was out due to health and safety protocols, would have he made a difference for TNT?
I think yes. I think, you know, the system will be the same. I mean, pareho lang yan kasi nag-game plan sila before they had practice.
That's true.
You know, their ball screen coverages, anong defense nila when Junmar is on the post, what pick and roll play they're gonna run, what sets they're gonna run. Alam na yun ng players eh. They do their homework. These are professionals. But I think the fact that Coach Chot is there, parang alam mo yung kumpiyansa ka, it's not the usual sight eh na, you know, Coach Josh is the head coach. Siya yung nagko-call ng shots. I mean, Coach Josh is a great coach. You know, he's the national team coach for the youth division, right? But, you know, iba pag nandun si Coach Tot, your actual head coach, coaching. Of course, these are things that you can't control. Pero, iba yun eh. Iba if you have that comfort zone knowing in your head that, okay, Coach Tot will be here. No matter what happens, tiwala ako kay Coach Tot. Especially if you're Jason Castro. Kasi, grabe rin yung relationship mo with Coach Tot and even Kelly Williams, right? So,
totoo. For me naman, just to add, iba pa rin yung shot race on the sidelines making in-game adjustments. Kasi, as a coach...
Before done that na si Coach Chot eh, no?
Oh, you know Coach eh. You know Coach Shot. Kasi, like, as anyone naman, as tayo, Jigs, galing tayo ng... We played professionally and collegiate at a collegiate level. Alam natin na syempre entering to a game
Game 7 pa.
Oh, diba?
Game 7.
Diba? Alam naman natin na meron tayong baon-baon na game plan. Kumbaga, baon na game plan na ito yung gagawin natin, this will be their schemes, this will be our sets, this will be our defensive blah blah blah. Pero iba pa rin talaga yung pag nakita mo na habang nangyayari yung laro. Kasi hindi naman kasi based on the original game plan sa simula ng game, yung kabilang team mag-a-adjust yan. Diba? Diyan papasok yung coaching, yung chess match.
That's right.
Diba?
That's right.
Sinong ipapasok mo, sinong i-rotate mo. And I think, and I really think that yun yung naging main difference in that game. Who to adjust. Kasi isipin mo, nawala yung Poy Era. Then all of a sudden, you're forced to put in Dave Marcelo.
Yeah.
Nawala yung Glenn Cobuntin because of injury. You're forced to put in JJ Alejandro.
Yep.
Keep Montalvo. Yung mga ganong adjustments na hindi mo naman talaga, yung mga unexpected things na mangyayari in-game, na biglang, may set of rotation si coach. Pak, nasira dahil Anspo ejected. Yun yung I think na naging...
Doon lalabas yung experience eh, no?
Doon lalabas yung experience. Yung IQ doon lalabas. And I really think na mas nagkaroon lang ng konting edge just because Leo Ostria is there and wala si Coach Cho.
Tama. I agree. Sinabi pa mention pa nga to ni Coach Leo after the game na, you know, he had sleepless nights because of, you know, the adjustments. Not just in game, in between game adjustments. Hindi daw makatulog si Coach Leo and this coaching staff. So, parang, that's another aspect of the game na hindi rin masyado nakikita ng fans and hopefully makita nila yun na coaching is different. It's hard, but it also impacts the game in a very, very huge way. Of course, congratulations to the SMB Beermen, San Miguel Beermen. What a crazy game from Chris Ross. That was crazy. When Chris Ross was hitting logo shots, step back threes,
Alam mo na tapos na eh.
there's no way na matatalo sila. And
Alam mo
kung
na
ikaw
eh.
yung TNT rin parang wala na sa inyo na talaga to, bro. Like, see Ross, bro. Like, well, give it to him though. He is a capable shooter. He worked on that
He
throughout
is.
his career. And nagkaroon na rin siya ng game na ganito eh. Alam ko parang championship clinching din and he made like what 8 threes or something or even more. Naalala ko yun I just don't remember when.
Yeah.
For some reason, Chris Ross just comes up clutch. He scores when it matters. Parang feel ko hinahayaan niya lang muna sila. Junmar, Marshall, ganyan.
No.
Pero kung gusto niya, he can actually like get buckets.
Well,
and that's what he did in game 7.
Well, that's your veteran leadership. Veteran leadership yan. That is when push comes to shove. Ako na to. Yan si Chris Ross. That's Chris Ross.
Yan yung tatlong yan, yung nandyan sa picture. Yan yung core nila nung they were winning back to back.
So they know.
Philippine Cup titles, right? Yeah.
So they know.
And
they know
for me, the next challenge there is trying to impart that knowledge and experience to the young guys. Kala Simon Enciso, CJ Perez, Jericho Cruz, diba? Like sila Vic Manuel. And I think nagawa nila yun. Kasi imagine how
successful sila dyan.
CJ Perez played. Vic Manuel played awesome. Marshall Lassiter all of a sudden, right? Like, it's crazy. Simon Enciso played great also. Silenced a lot of doubters. So, I think it's... First of all, Coach Leo, syempre, one of the best coaches in the Philippines. At saka ito yung tatlo Chris Ross, Marshall Lassiter, and Junmar Fajardo. Props to you guys for proving a lot of doubters wrong. People were already counting them out na you guys are old. Talk about si Ross, Marshall. Tapos, nung bubble pa, Gels, they got injured I think si Ross got injured. I was still there.
Na-injured sila.
And some people were actually saying, wala na to.
Wala na, matanda. Tapos binuwag pa yung death squad. Diba, binuwag pa yung death squad. Inalis yung kabagnot yung Arwin Santos. After that, ako personally, to tell you honestly, nung tinanggal yung Arwin, tinanggal si Coach Alex sa core nila. Pero baka mahirapan na tong San Miguel na to because one, they're old. Two, the core was natanggal
wala na yung death 5.
Wala na yung death 5 Pero then again, the leadership of Junmar, the leadership of Chris Ross, Marshall, leadership of most especially Coach Leo Austria, imparting wisdom to those younger guys who would be probably, for sure, may mga nakahain ng kontrata yan the next few years. Yan sila CJ, sila.
Pati pen, so mga bonus, pati pen.
Diba may mga kasunod ng kontrata yan with the way they played and most
yung bata ko si Mike Cañete, naabutan ko to sa Meralco, nakaisa pa dito sa
alam mo, nakaisa pa, di ba? JP Paundo, nakaisa pa.
Bata mo yan, JP Paundo.
Robbie
Herndon pa pala. He had a great game also.
He had a great, di ba? But then again, let's talk about one guy na, for me, really stood out. CJ Perez, pare. He was on a different level when he came in. Well, he was already up there when he was playing for Terra Firma and prior to him being a Beermen. Pero dito lumabas yung beast.
Hindi na baby beast.
Hindi na. Beast na to. Beast na to Beast na talaga. The way he played and the way it's up there. Yung level niya and kumaga ako, pwede na nga magpahinga yung mga Chris Ross last year. Dahil may ganyan
CJ. Gels, nung napanood ako kahapon, parang grabe yung activity ni CJ. Dumedepensa, pumipressure. Pinipressure ni si Jason, si Mikey. Then, when he drives, parang downhill talaga For me, he really wanted that first championship. Ramdam mo I didn't even watch live TV lang ako nanood dito sa TV namin. Parang naramdaman ko na, sheesh. Parang CJ wants this more than anyone else.
Iba siya.
And then, nung interview niya after the game, he mentioned, he has no words after that championship. He has no words because it's his first. I guess he was wanting that ever since that championship. So, well-deserved. Kay hindi na baby beast, ano natawag natin dito? Teenager beast. Kasi kung beast, the beast si Calvin di ba?
Calvin yun, di ba?
So, again, congratulations sa SMB Jels.
Yes.
Di ba ikaw nga, muntik ka na mag 3x3 SMB. So,
muntik na.
ano ka na sana? Baka part ka rin sana ng bonus nila, Jels.
Sana, pero hindi.
Sana all.
Pero, Jegs, moving forward, alam ko maraming naging activities sa outside of the PBA Finals.
Naman.
Nagkaroon ng maraming activities sa labas ng PBA Finals and all of that. Lalo na mga coaching changes. Una nagsimula, Coach Yeng Guiao is out as the head coach of NLEX.
Yun yung una.
Yun yung una. Yung una. Few days later, may mga agam-agam or may mga speculations na, Coach Yeng is ganito, ganyan.
Baka mag-SM na Miguel daw, di ba? Baka mag-San Miguel
daw. Tapos, may mga hirit pa si Coach Yeng na, ayoko na mag-abroad kasi matanda na ako and I'm still looking at the market and all of that. And then all of a sudden, this morning, breaking news, he's back. Coach Yeng Guiao is now back with the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters after 6 years.
Mm-hmm. I mean, last championship ni Coach Yeng was with Rain or Shine, 2016.
2016.
I think probably the last independent team who actually won.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
Yeah, for me, yun nag-stand out for me. Coach Yeng Guiao. Imagine Rain or Shine winning a championship. Kanina sa The Game, Jels, he just had an interview. Na kwento niya na syempre nag-announce siya na he's going stepping down from the head coaching position of NLEX. And then syempre may mga calls, ganyan-ganyan. Tumawag agad daw yung mga bosses ng Rain or Shine. Alam mo kung gaano kabilis. So they had tumawag, nag-meeting sila, they had dinner. The next day, ito lang, nung Sunday, may kontrata na daw.
Pirma na. Tapos, non-deal.
May kontrata na daw. Yun yung sinabi ni Coach Yeng, kinento niya kaila Pao, kaila Denise kanina. And I think parang it's meant to be rin. I mean, the timing, all the, I guess, okay din to for the young guys Yung mga bata ko sa Rain or Shine, Anton, Asistio, my guy, ready ka na. Ready mo na yung tenga mo.
Ready na yung tenga mo. Si Sean, lalo na si
Sean. Si Papa Colon. Shout out to you guys. Good luck sa inyo. Sabi ni Coach Yeng, bago ba daw yung first practice, I'm sure mentally ready na yung mga bata. Yung mga matatanda daw, di na daw kasi kilala niya na sila.
Wala na kilala niya na sila. Kuya Bo, Gabe, Jewel Contrada.
Pero yung mga rookies daw, ready na daw mentally, sabi niya for sure. Kasi alam na nila yun. Yeah.
Diba? Pero ako personally, at first, initially, I never thought na Coach Yeng would go to Rain or Shine. Bakit? Kasi Chris Gavina is probably one of the up-and-coming head coaches dito sa PBA. And for sure, he really made a good impression sa Rain or Shine. And his stints a few
I think he's still part of the staff though, right?
Yeah, he's part of the staff. And he's still part of the staff. And syempre, balik ang dating Rain or Shine staff with Coach
And Coach Yeng also mentioned that kanina na Coach Chris, he acknowledged the job that Coach Chris has done.
Yeah, that's why he's staying. Yeah. And syempre, balik sa coaching job na naman si Coach Caloy Garcia as his first assistant.
Sure na ba?
Sure na. Coach Caloy is gonna be his first assistant.
Hindi na siya, di ba consultant siya for a time?
He's just a consultant and he's parang on a managerial type daw.
Diba?
But then again,
so he's back.
So congratulations for Rain or Shine for getting their prodigal father again back into the sidelines of Rain or Shine. Ako, I'm really excited for the new guys. Ako, excited na ako talaga para dun sa dalawa kay Anton at saka kay Sean. Hindi ko alam.
Sino kay Mamu? Si Mamu nandun din.
Saka kay Santi, kila Big Mike. Diba? So, I'm really excited.
Big Mike pa pala. Big Mike sanay na yan. Yung teammate ko yan sa Batang Gilas. Kahit anong sigaw ni Coach to Mike, okay lang kay Mike Nieto. So,
but I'm really excited for those new guys. Marami silang matututunan kay Coach Yeng. For sure.
I agree. And also, you know what? Yung Rain or Shine ngayon, they're upping their marketing game social media
Yeah,
wise. Parang very active sila with the
that's
young
true.
guys. Syempre social media age. And in terms of marketing, this is good marketing
Good marketing,
for
yeah.
that they got back coaching. So I think both business side and basketball side, I think this is a good decision for Rain or Shine. And I think no hard feelings naman kay Coach Chris kasi
Mm.
um I think they have a good relationship. I think he'll learn a lot from
Yeah.
Coach Yeng and also vice versa. Coach Yeng, kahit mas experience siya kay Coach Chris, may matututunan din siya sa new style of play of Coach Chris. I love Coach Chris. He runs a lot of modern basketball plays, European sets also, mga Spain pick and roll. I love the sets that he runs. So, good luck to the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. This conference is going to be a crazy,
Yeah.
crazy one. Yung next one, with imports pa. So hopefully, that's going to be a good one. Of course, with Bay Area Dragons
Yeah,
coming.
as a guest team. As a guest
Oh, yeah.
team.
Malaking bagay din yun. We
Oh.
can talk about that for a whole nother episode because they have not lost a game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sa lahat ng tune-up
Against
games,
other
wala pa. Wala pa.
PBA teams. Yeah.
Oh, wala pa. Wala pa silang natatalo. And I've heard na they're not just winning. They're dominating. Like
They have a
they're
point. They have a guard. Forget his name. They have a guard who played in the NBA. Import nila. I forget his name, but I played with that guy
yeah.
in the trial runs, Adidas trial runs. Bro, he's like mga 2 inches taller than me. 2, 3 inches. Sumasalpak, bro.
Kaya mo rin naman yun eh.
I mean, bro, ako kaya ko alley-oop mga ganun, tas grazer lang rim. Bro, siya as in dunk talaga na solid. He can shoot
See?
threes. Expect that guy, bro. Expect that guy to
It's something to
hoop.
look forward to, pare. It's something to look forward to this coming conference. And meron sila doon, yung 7-5. 7-5
Oh,
na,
nakita.
na
Of course, yung import
local
nila,
yun, ha?
another import. I think they have another import. So,
Mm.
that's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a crazy conference.
Yep.
And just, it's been another good one. Last
Yes.
week, di tayo
Hindi
shoot
tayo
kasi it was the
oo.
Gilas game. Of course, we
Gilas
didn't want
game,
to
yep. And
Yeah,
we needed to support that game, and we needed to watch that, diba? So
for sure.
again, Jegs, it was a great night, and it was a great night. It's a great Monday night, and happy to have you back after
Yes, sir.
missing one episode. But then
Nasa
again,
Davao ba ako nun?
you were in Davao at the time. You were playing against ano. So next week, I hope to see you here, and sana makahanap tayo ng guest ulit. For sure, magiging maganda yung conversation
Mga
natin.
followers, sinong request nyo dyan na pwedeng i-guest? Try namin. We'll try our best to try and get him on the pod.
Yep. All right.
And
so,
of course, just another great one with you. Appreciate you for the time,
you, my guy. Yep.
for the conversation. I'll see you soon. See you in the
See you
next
soon.
step. Thank you guys for all the listeners. Peace. See you guys.